Holy smokes. Holy smokes. So I live up in Canada where there's obviously snow. And when you have to get a car out of a little bit of a rut that it's in, sometimes it takes a few kind of pushes. You got to rock it back and forth. And I don't know if it is the fact that I've been sick today. I don't know if it's what I've been taking, but holy smokes, I do not understand this flippin' scene. So I thought maybe I will read through it again. I only read the first couple pages of it, and I was like, holy smokes, this is just getting out there. And I want to make sense of it because it has to do, this is Unidas's scene, and it has to do with these two ladies who are these daughters. And Osric shows up, and they're dragging this cousin. It's just like, I don't understand it. So we have, I'm not going to read it all, but I might read, if you're going to be on this video, you have to be okay with me thinking through things on the spot because I do not understand it totally. So this is when we just had Mayan, and she's just done this blessing on the land, I guess, or whatever. She's done something for the Narek. They call the Narek? Yeah, the Narek people. And right there, I don't understand it completely, other than the female line seems to be important in both the Narek and the Mayan, or in the Edur people as well. She's done something that was more than just welcoming them, but, this blessing seems to be significant. But that's not what this is about. Anyway, so Uruth has intercepted Mayan on the bridge, and then hearing low laughter, Unidas stiffened and hunched lower on the stool. Be quiet, Wither. He hears laughing. And I liked this part. This is Wither talking. There are realms, dead slave, the wraith whispered, where memories shape oblivion, and so make ages long past a world as real as this one. In this way, time is defeated. Death is defied. And sometimes, Unidas the indebted, such a realm drifts close, very close. So cool. So, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this kind of thing where either time is actually defeated and things are kind of flash frozen in some way, or there is this kind of time walking thing, or the idea that just the fact that something is inscribed and remembered. I just went through this scene with Briss, and he went to where Mael was supposed to be and had that encounter with the Guardian, and now he is kind of like the guardian of these names. It's just so crazy because the names have been defiled or whatever and forgotten. Sounds like that maybe is what happened to Tog, and all these elder gods and elder goddesses who have been forgetting themselves. Anyway, he goes and he has this new vision. Just right in the middle of this thing. And he sees Moonspawn in the air, or maybe might not be Moonspawn. It might be another one of these sky, what do they call them? Sky fortresses or something like that. And I'm not going to read all this, but Holy smokes. Okay, so two tall figures appearing. Oh, a battered bedrock, pulverized stone, roiling mists. This is on page 276, by the way. Two tall figures appeared, dragging between them a third one, a woman, unconscious or dead. Long, dark brown hair unbound and trailing on the ground. Unidas flinched upon realizing one of the walking figures, that blinding armor, the ironclad boots and silver cloak and helmed face. Menendor, Sister Dawn. So this was the person who helped him out this other time, right? But this time, it sounds like he's just seeing it and he's not actually here, right? Because they turn around and they see, he thinks they're talking to them, but he sees Osirk, which is Leoric's dad. Okay, so he knew then the woman they dragged between them, Dusk, Shalantha Lore, which I don't flippin' A. I just wish I was better at keeping all these names right. Shalantha Lore. Should I know that name? Lore? Shalantha Lore. So I don't see it in the Dramatis Personae. But this is their cousin to these two daughters. Okay, two sets of wide epicanthic tist eyes seem to fix on Unidas. I didn't expect to find you here. What have you done to her? This is Osric. Okay, so this tist, it sounds like these three are maybe Edur, but then their father is this Leozan. Pure Osric, first son of dark and light, so precious. First son of dark and light. So the first son of both Mother Dark and Father Light, right? But then he came out more like the father, right? Because he's a Tist Leozan. Am I hearing that right? I don't flippin' know. We'll find out. But when you see first son of dark and light, and this is when I was like, okay, I need to take another run at this. Weaving your blood with that whore. That's what, well, that's going to get closed captioned or whatever. Okay. And it sounds like that's maybe even his sister. You shouldn't speak of your mother that way, Sukul. She died giving birth to you. She died giving birth to us all, Sukul. And Ankadu's raised hand closed into a fist that seemed to twist the air. Dies in his reborn. Tiam and her children. Tiam and her lovers. Her 1,000 deaths. And yet nothing changes. Menendor spoke in a calm tone. And who have you been arguing with, Osirk? Animander. He got the better of me this time. Upon consideration, not surprising, the weapon of anger often proves stronger than cold reason's armor. Is he using vengeance and grief? Is he using that sword right now? Even so, I delayed him long enough. And I'm so flippin' confused about Scabandari and Ruin still. To permit Ruin's escape, Menendor asked, why? Your kin or not, he's shown himself for what he truly is, a treacherous murderer. Now, I stopped around here, and I was like, I got to take another run at that. So the next 3 pages, I'm just going to read it. Now, if that's, a lot of people won't want to sit for that, but I'm just going to do it, and because I don't, I'm thinking we may get some answers about this Silchus and Scabandari, but now that we're getting it through Osirk and we see Unidas watching this, and I don't know who this cousin is. This cousin lore. Just confusing. But it sounds like this is probably kind of after the just right after that betrayal, and I still don't know who betrayed who. Ostric's brows rose mockingly, and he regarded the unconscious woman lying on the ground between the daughters. Presumably, your cousin, who's clearly suffered at your hands, is not dead, then. Accordingly, I might point out that Scabandari did not murder Silchus Ruin. Okay. Well, I like that. Okay. True, Sukal snapped. Something far worse, unless you think eating mud for eternity is a preferable fate. So it looks like, we knew that. We knew that because he didn't kill him, he just trapped him. Spare me the outrage, Ostric sighed. As you so often note, dear child, treachery and betrayal is our extended family's most precious trait. Or, if not precious, certainly its most popular one. In any case, I am done here. What do you intend doing with her, meaning this cousin? We think Silchus might enjoy the company. Oh, they're going to trap her. Where do they have him? Whenever I ask something like that, it's like the answer is the next line. Ossark stiffened. 2 draconian ascendants in the same grounds. Draconian descent. Okay. You sorely test the Azath house, daughters. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so he's trapped in the Azath house. We knew that. I'm just an idiot. Will Scabandari seek to free her? Menendor asked. Scabandari is in no condition to free anyone, Ostric replied, including himself. The two women were clearly startled by this. After a moment, Menendor asked, Who managed that? The man shrugged. Does it matter? It was Scabandari's conceit to think this world's gods had not the power to oppose him. Right, so they like invaded this world in the K'chain Shamal or whatever. The K'chain Shamal were there first, and then they invaded, but it was his conceit that they wouldn't be able to just trap him as well. Very, very cool. Okay. He paused then to eye his daughter speculatively. Did I say that right? And said, Heed that as a warning, my dears. Mother Dark's first children were spawned without need of any sire. And despite what Anamander might claim, they were not Tist Andi. Whoa. Okay. Do I trust that? I mean, this is a Tist Leosin talking, and they butt heads, right? I'm going to mark that because I'll have to come back to that. But I mean, that's going to be stuck in my mind. Well, that's just another stinking thing. So, yeah. The first children were spawned without need of any sire, and they were not Tist Andi. We do not know this, Menendor said. Well, now you do. Tread softly, children. Wow. Okay. Unidis watched the tall figure walk away. Then the slave gasped as Ostric's form blurred, shifted, unfolded to find a new shape. Huge glittering gold and silver scales rippling as wings spread wide. A surge of power, and the enormous dragon was in the air. Sukal Andaru, Ankadu, and Menendor stared at it after him. Sorry, when I read out loud, I'm an idiot. Until the dragon dwindled to a gleaming ember in the heavy sky, winked out, and was gone. Sukal grunted and said, I'm surprised Anamander didn't kill him. Something binds them, sister, and of which not we or anyone else knows a thing about. I'm certain of it. Perhaps, or it might be something far simpler, such as they would the game continue. Are they talking about this war versus dark and light? Sukal said with a tight smile, and the pleasure would pale indeed were one to kill the other outright. Now we're getting this tension already. We're also getting this tension that this reminds me of the thing with Morok and between Garen and these others that if one fights the other, if someone tries to go after the prince or whatever, I'm just kind of if that tension were to kind of spark, then things would get a little crazy, and it sounds like there's some of that here. Okay. Perhaps, or it might be something far simpler, such as they would continue the game. And the pleasure would pale indeed were one to kill the other outright. Menandor's eyes fell to the motionless form of Shalantha Lore. This one, she took a lover from among the world's gods. Did she not? Okay. Shalantha Lore. So she is breeding with someone from this world. And that's got them all in a tizzy. Okay. For a time, begetting 2 horrid little children. Horrid? Daughters, then? Sukul nodded. And their father saw that clearly enough from the very start. For he named them appropriately. Oh? And what were those names, sister? Envy and spite. Okay, so wait a sec. So this is this would be the Lady Envy's mom, the daughter of Light, or the daughter of. Hold on, holy smokes! Okay. Sister of Cold Nights. Right? Is that the Sister of Cold Nights? Because isn't that... Holy smokes. Okay. I'm all confused now. Okay. So, Lady Envy is part... Okay. So, the Sister of Cold Nights, are we assuming that then she is a Tist Edur? Or am I an idiot? And then Lady Envy would be this kind of mix. Holy smokes. Okay, I am so confused. But that is very cool. Okay, let me keep going, because Lady Envy and Spite. Well, it doesn't say Lady Envy. Menandor smiled. This god, I think I would enjoy meeting him one day. It is possible he would object to what we plan to do with Shalantha Lore. Indeed, it is possible that even now he seeks our trail, so that we might prevent our revenge. Accordingly, as Osric is wont to say, we should make haste. Unidas watched as the two women moved apart, leaving their unconscious cousin where she lay. Menandor faced her sister across the distance. Okay. Sorry, I was interrupted again. Unidas watched as the two women moved apart, leaving their unconscious cousin where she lay. Menandor faced her sister across the distance. Shaltantha's lover? That god? What is his name? Sukul's reply seemed to come from a vast distance. Draconis. Oh. Okay. Well, I didn't know that this elder goddess, and am I reading that right? The Sister of the Cold Nights is this Shalantha person, and I didn't know that her and Draconis were a thing. Should I have known that, or is that as surprising as it seems here? And now, so I might. There's just so much that goes on. Maybe I did know that Lady Envy and Spite were. Oh yeah, I did know that, but I didn't know that it was the sister goddesses. Or no, the. I don't think I knew that it was them. I knew that it was Draconis, but I didn't know that it was the the sister of cold nights or whatever. I think. Am I getting that right? Anyway, this is how I am. Like every time I read one of these scenes, I'm like, huh? Like I feel like an idiot because I feel like there's things I should know, and it takes me a while to like loop back in and remember what I did know or what I assumed, because I've assumed a billion things, and it's like fishing through all the pebbles and trying to remember what is actually right and what was just a theory. So, okay, we're almost done this scene. Then the two women veered into dragons of a size almost to match that of Osurk. One dappled, one blindingly bright. Can Lady Envy do this? Can she do this? And, yeah, anyway. The dappled creature lifted into the air, slid in a banking motion until she hovered over Sheltanthalor's body. A taloned claw reached down and gathered her in its grasp. Then the dragon rose higher to join her sister, and away they wheeled southward. Okay. The scene, I'm just thinking of geography here. Okay. The scene quickly faded before the slave's eyes, and once more Unidas was sitting outside the Sengar longhouse, a half-scaled fish in his red, cracked hands, its facing eye staring up at him with that ever-disturbing look of witless surprise, an eye that he had seen with the barest of variations all morning and all afternoon, and now, as dusk closed around him, it stared yet again, mute and emptied of life, as if what he held was not a fish at all, just eyes, dead, senseless eyes. Yet even the dead accuse. You have done enough, slave. Unidas looked up. Urith and Mayan stood before him, two tist women, neither dappled, neither blindingly bright, just shades in faint, desultory variation. Between them, and a step behind, Featherwitch stood, foremost among the attending slaves, eyes filled with feverish warnings fixed on his own. Unidas bowed his head to Urith. Yes, mistress. Find a salve for those hands, Urith said. Thank you, mistress. The procession filed past into the longhouse. Unidas stared down at the fish, studied that eye a moment longer, then dug it out with his thumb. Holy smokes. Okay. Well, we just found out some stuff, I think, and that's that's kind of the whirlwind that I go through when I read these scenes. It's just crazy, and I often have to go to the other books and see what happens. So I am a little bit confused still. Now I was thinking that, yeah, I'm confused at Ruin, how he betrayed, but it sounds like it's Scavandari who betrayed. But it sounds like maybe Ruin did something first, or who knows. But Scavandari definitely is also locked away, right? Too bad. Are they both locked away? Where the heck is Ruin, and where the heck is Scavandari? That's the thing that I'm so confused about. Maybe someone can help me out. I'm still liking it, but that's the point. That's the plot point in this book so far, where I'm like, am I understanding what I need to be understanding? Because it's just so unclear to me. It's so murky. But anyway, I'll talk to you on the next one.